The contrast is remarkable. Three men in the same position. Three men hanging from a cross on Golgotha, the place of the skull. Yet they could not have been more different. The man in the middle of the three could not have been more different than the two on the outside. For one thing, his demeanor was different. As he hung from the cross in bitter agony, he wasn't hurling insults at people, but he was forgiving his enemies. He wasn't thinking just about himself, but he was thinking about the loved ones in his life. He was thinking about his mother, who would be without him. And so he gave his best friend to her, to take care of her, to provide and protect her. He was thinking of others. Yet it wasn't just his demeanor that made him different. He was different than the criminals on either side of him because he didn't deserve to be hanging from the tree. He was perfect. This was Jesus. He had lived a perfect life, and he had never thought or said or did anything that would deserve him hanging from that tree. Yet for that very reason, Jesus took our sins upon him. He was convicted guilty because of the sins that we have committed. And he died the punishment that we deserved. But he was quite different than the two men on either side of him. They deserved the punishment they were receiving. They committed crimes that had put them on that cross. And one of them realized it. One of them knew that he was guilty and that he deserved to be there. In an act of introspection and reflection, he knew that he deserved what he was getting. For the act that he had committed that put him there, but he knew in his heart that he was a sinner all around. That's who he was, and he could do nothing about it. But he knew where to turn. He knew that this man hanging next to him in the middle was quite different than anybody had ever seen before. He remembered the promises of a Messiah, one who would come to save people from their sins. And he turned to Jesus. And he said, Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Remember me. He's saying, remember me in mercy. There's nothing that he could have done to merit Jesus' forgiveness. But he says, remember me in mercy, forgive my sins, and remember me when you come into your kingdom. Jesus, if he was based on merit, would have no reason to bring this guy into his kingdom because he didn't deserve it. But Jesus gives you what you don't deserve, and he gives this man what he didn't deserve. And he says this, today you will be with me in paradise. This man did not deserve Jesus' forgiveness. But like that, Jesus forgave him. There is an immediacy to Jesus' forgiveness here. And it was undeserved. That's why we call it grace. The same is true for you. When you ask of forgiveness from Jesus, when you ask him to remember you in mercy, there's not a 30-day holding period on that forgiveness, but there is an immediacy to his forgiveness. Today, you are forgiven. And in a way that we can't understand even fully, he brings us into the kingdom of God, a kingdom of grace, that undeserved love, a kingdom of truth in his word, a kingdom of love, a kingdom of hope, a kingdom of peace, of joy, of all sorts of blessings. He brings you into that kingdom immediately. You don't have to wait 30 days. You don't have to wait a year. You don't have to even wait till you die, but you have been brought into the kingdom of God. And one day, when you do die and you go to heaven, all of those blessings will be fully realized, and you will see the fullness of the kingdom of God and all of his blessings that he has for you in heaven. Yeah, we deserve to be hanging in the place of this criminal, to be punished. But because Jesus is a God of grace and love, and because Jesus took the punishment that we deserved, he can say to us, today, you will be with me in paradise.